Hi everyone and welcome to How to Play Guitar. This time we're tackling the song I think it's fair to say that inspired me to set up this channel in the first place. I always wanted to learn how to play guitar properly, so every time I watched tracks I always thought, how are these artists actually playing them? And this is one of my favourites called Apocalyptic Love from Slash, the title track of his second studio album, I think it was. The first one with Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators, properly going for it. And I must say, it's such a tough riff. I watched video after video online. I just could not find out how to play this riff properly. And I ended up slowing down videos of Slash playing at live gigs. And I just thought, no one else is doing this. So I finally kind of decided to tackle one of the tracks behind the reason why I wanted to do this whole channel in the first place. You'll notice I'm standing up this time because there's a lot of wah pedal action going on, a lot of stuff to do. I just can't sit down and show you how to do it properly. So we're going to take it from the beginning with Apocalyptic Love and we'll see how we go. So right at the start, there's a very quiet bit and you hear Slash and the gang talking away. Someone says Apocalyptic, one of the studio engineers. And it begins with some wah pedal action on an F minor chord. Like that. Now, the best way to play this, I think, is in the F minor position on the 2nd fret. But just play the top 2 notes. A bit like that. That's exactly what happens on the album. And then we go to this double muted pick. Like that. With a slide up. And then we're into our first riff straight away. This is the snakiest riff I think that I've found Slash do in his kind of career. And it's really, really cool. But just watch very closely how it's played, because it did take an absolute decade of my lifetime to find out the real truth of this riff. So, it starts with an open string. Now it's worth saying that the wah pedal in this riff is pushed downwards on the main beat. So if you're going... So... It's not quite right how you play the riff, but just to demonstrate the pedal there. So that's happening. In the meantime, you've got these notes. Open. And then a hammer on the 7th fret. First finger on the 5th fret there, on that A string. And this return note here is very much muted, so the whole first sequence is like this. But that muted note is with a 7th fret 3rd finger. That's the next turn. Always alternate picking, by the way, so you're going to get to that pause note here. Now there is no pick here at all, but Slash does move his fingers, so he goes. So it's kind of like it creates the sound of a note, but there isn't a note there. There's just a kind of lifting of the 3rd finger on that 7th fret on the D string. The next notes that follow are pull-offs, which is kind of gives you time to think about the fast next section which is approaching here in this riff. This is the hardest bit of the piece, by the way, that's why I'm taking so long to go through the riff properly. So 4, 3, 1, 3. Slide down to this 4th fret. Nice little riff. And this bit I just could not work out how to play for such a long time, but it's the 5th fret with the 1st finger, muted, and then slid down to that 3rd. So again, the whole riff. Like that. Really tough to play, especially at full speed. That's actually quite good. Then you have that same riff again, same wah pattern. Always remember that these are alternate picks here until one special occasion I'll tell you about later. And then the wah pedal gets pressed off at that point as we go into the first chord section of the tab, which I've got, by the way, downloadable for you. Absolutely free, so just check it out. Wah pedal goes off, chords on the way, but we get this riff again before that, except that the wah is turned off this time, so it sounds a bit more like this. And then the next time you have this, it goes. So the chord section is quite straightforward. It's got some inverted power chords, which are very nice. But I'll just take you through that here before we get into the alternate version of the riff here. So the chords are just an E minor. Now you can play it with first fingers, which I've seen Slash do in a live situation. So it's when you're coming out of the main riff. So the G chord is just this shape of G, but you don't play this A string, you just mute it with the finger. Then you've got this first inversion of the D chord, which basically is played by the thumb there on the bottom note. You play that twice. Same again. Sometimes I like to come down and do it in the open position like that with the second finger and third finger. There's just a doubling there. And then you've got two variations of how to play this. Slash does it both different ways when he's playing live. You've either got the kind of power chord version, which is like this, or sometimes in lives he even plays this third note. Or you've got the other option, which is this first position. I prefer the power chord version and actually adding in the third as well, even though you can't hear that on the album. And you've got this kind of open note, back to the G, with the doubling of an open. So this is an E chugging power chord here. And it's a slow release. We're going to go into the next section, but just a quick note on this really quick turnaround here. I really struggled to try and play that at full speed because I kept trying to alternate pick. But you don't actually, it's a hammer on, down, down, up. We'll go into this next section here. This is the kind of inverted power chords section, which I really like. This actually was the piece that taught me about inverted power chords in the first place. So instead of going, it's actually got the fifth note in the bottom. So and these are played with this rhythm, so when it's the X's, you're moving your chord and muting. Now this riff comes back from the beginning, but it's in a different arrangement here. It's one string over, wah pedal on, and again make sure you wah on each beat, so press the pedal down on each beat. So the riff returns no wah, so this is the time when it's different here. The second time it repeats with no wah. And this is really cool, so it's all down picks. And the last one is a kind of pinch harmonic 6 to 7 bend with your third finger. Slight slowdown in the rhythm as well, so just bear that in mind. Really, really nice though. You can even do a harmonic in the note just before that bend if you like. Or at least start breaking it through. Then we're back to these chords that we've explained in part 1 of the video. When you're playing this D chord, by the way, don't play the top string. It's just in brackets because that's the shape you tend to hold when you're playing it. So. And also with the G, try and not play the third on the A string. Just to sound a bit plainer, like that, rather than... It goes around a third time. Got that doubling. Then this C power chord. You can also do the thirds in those, so. And now here, there's two options. You've got this inversion like this. Or you've got what I have seen / play live, which is the kind of G shape without the root. So 4-2-2. With your third finger and then barring the first across. And you return to this turnaround. And then we're going back to our inverted power chords again. You play this one round 3 times, so. And then you've got this turnaround section here again. It's a different kind of turnaround. Power chords still involved, so you've got B and D. Now the only thing that's different here is, firstly, of course, you've got the turnaround followed by actual power chords rather than inverted ones. So. Here you do the G. Now previously we've played this chord with the thumb in the root, but / always seems to do the other variation at this point in the song with the second finger, which is totally cool. So the first thing you want to do is have the bridge pickup switched. So once you're coming down from this section just before, distortion off and switch, and then you're going to jump up to this position. It's a D chord, but the top note is moved up to an A, and you play it with this arrangement of your fingers. Move with the open note. And then back to this D shape. It's a slightly different open note there, it's a D string. And then we carry it on. I'm just zooming in on the tab here, and you can do the same as well. You can download it if you want for free. It is available to you right now. Then we go to the F sharp minor. Same shape again as we carry on. And then this is when it changes quite dramatically. So this is the solo for real now. So switch that to your bridge pickup, put the distortion on, and then this is the octave solo section here. So it goes, follow the tab, but it's on the 10th fret here with an octave. And then there's a pause there. The octaves, by the way, the trick for playing these is to just put the 1 and 4 down and hold your finger lightly on the next string over. So that string should be muted with your finger. We're over to page 3 of our tab now, and this is probably the most complicated section. It really took me an age to work this out. I must have watched so many videos on like 0.25 speed. You can see a lot of rubbing out going on, but it sounds like you're just playing the 9th fret here with the wah on. And the amount of people who I've seen say that's the way this is played is just unreal, but it's really not. It took me ages to work it out, but basically the short version is, it's the 7th fret bent up. So you bend it up from the 7th, and don't forget you're going to press the foot pedal each time here, each beat. So it's like this section here. And that wah pedal gets pressed again with nothing else, so that wah pedal press is very important, and then you slide down and then come back up. So that again is not picked. The wah pedal actually makes the note change. The next section is like this. It's very, very hard to work that out, but basically if you follow the tab again, so it sounds like this. Come across with your second finger there, so second finger across. Then the next section is a bit easier to play because it's a variation of the main riff, but still keep that wah pedal pressing each time. So. So I'll just run through that pattern again. And then it's a third finger slide here. This is a second finger here with a bend. All down picks. Then we go up for this bend on the 10th fret here. And then this is where it sounds really complicated, but the wah pedal is still being used. And then you're going for the 10th fret. This is a very slash pattern. And then it pauses at the end. You don't have to pick all the notes here as well, so just one more time really slowly. That doesn't have to be picked, particularly that note. This is an up. And then you're going to do this rising shape next, and the wah pedal is pressed with each new note here. So starting on the 10th fret. And then the wah pedal goes off as you slide down. So just one more time, 10th fret. Like that. Back to these inverted chords. And But notice the rhythm's slightly different this time, so I've written it in specifically for you here. So we're going on to the very last outro riff now. Again, another slight variation of the main one here. So it slides up from the 7th to the 9th. Remember the down, down picks here. So one more time, because it gets played 3 times round. And then 3rd time round gets played, but you don't play those last notes. So one more time, I'll just play the 3rd iteration of it here. So that's kind of how it works. No final 2 notes. And then you're going to play these power chords again. Play that round 3 times. And then you finish it with this descending chord pattern again. E major chord at the end, at least hold the note down. And the final bend is on the 17th fret up here, which is a kind of a slash classic here. He just does it once, but I've seen him live doing it so many more times. Slide it down and you are done. Apocalyptic Love has been achieved. One of the hardest songs that I've learnt to play just because of the snakiness of the riff. There's so many different variations as well, and the wah pedals involved, and then you've got the inverted chord. Anyway, I hope you learnt a lot from that. If you're a fan of Slash as well, definitely follow, because there'll be plenty more. Subscribe down here, and there's videos up here, lots of other Slash videos. We did November Rain actually, which was a lot of fun on the channel. But thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll see you soon. I need to buy some more Slash t-shirts, so I'll order them and then we'll carry on the channel. But thanks for watching. Peace out.